Are we on? Are we on? Hello everyone and welcome to BeerSweden television. You may notice a few changes to the last episode. The first thing that I have to tell you is that BeerSweden Trev is not behind the camera tonight. We tried to get him here, but he's a very busy man these days and just things got in the way and it all went wrong. And so basically you got me and a horse to conduct this very special beer tasting that we're going to do tonight. Now I've just literally come downstairs where I've been on the computer. We did a little poll on Facebook, basically put this beer that I'm going to be drinking tonight head to head with Sierra Nevada's Northern Hemisphere. This beer won outright, so I'm pretty excited to be able to share it with you tonight. It's going to be a quickie because I think I'm going to need probably the rest of the night to get through probably about half of this bottle. But the beer that we're going to be trying, or I'm going to be trying, Trev, I miss you, is this one. It's the barrel-aged version of Old Rasputin, which is a Russian Imperial Stout. Can't do the zoomy zoom. We'll try and put it a little bit closer so you can see the bottle. What a lovely classic looking bottle this is. Corked, wired, extremely exclusive. Let me tell you a little bit of story, sort of the backstory behind this beer. Now, Old Rasputin is one of the indisputable, famous, highest rated Imperial Stouts in the United States. In fact, I've got my just off camera here, got a little from my little cheat sheet, my lapdog. And I've actually got some tasting notes that go back to 2006, which is the first time I actually recorded what I thought about this. I've drunk it before that, but what I said about the straightforward Rasputin is that it was very powerful, smoky, charcoal roasty type of stout. It was quite menacing, a bit like Rasputin himself. I said brooding, menacing and an assertive stout. Now basically it's got all the kind of menace of a black hole, this beer, and I'm just wondering what on earth it's going to taste like when you take a beer that flavoursome, that powerful, with that much gravity, and actually stick it into barrels. Should be extremely interesting to see what's going to happen. Now, why have they done it? Well, it's actually been a decade since Old Rasputin was first brewed, so to commemorate that, they've produced this very special small batch beer. There's going to be 1,900 bottles that are coming into the Systembolaget on March the 1st. I'm telling you now, I haven't tried it yet, but I'm telling you now, it's not enough. It's going to fly off the shelf, so I recommend you start revving your engines for this one. It's going to be an absolute top seller. In terms of the beer itself, basically what they've done is that they've aged it for 9 months in 12-year-old bourbon barrels. So that's probably going to give it this really sort of lick of high octane alcohol. It's obviously young for the beer. It's probably an aging beer, I don't know, but I think what we'll do is let's talk more drinking. Shall we actually open this thing for you? I'm expecting this. I'm expecting it to look as black as sin. I'm expecting a head that's going to be big, billowy. It's going to look sort of cow-pat brown. I'm expecting roastiness. I'm expecting charcoal. I'm expecting to be able to open this bottle. I'm expecting all sorts of dark, toasted, roasted, all bitter, dry sorts of notes. A little bit of brown sugar too. There we go. The smell straight away, people, is awesome. Let's pour this up, see if I'm right. Black with a really, really dark brown puck of a head. Let's see what happens. Oh my goodness. Okay, I was kind of right. I was kind of right in as much, and I'm getting huge amounts of booze here and raisins and plums and dates. It's black, okay. Let me hold it up for you. Wonderfully black. Look at it. It looks really, as I said before, menacing. A black hole of a beer. Look at it when you swirl it. Look at it. It's slow motion swirl time. You know what that means? That means bags of residual sugar in here. This is syrupy. It's going to be thick. It's going to be viscous. It's going to be a really, really rich, decadent, sticky type of beer. Now, Let's give it a whirl, people. Even though Trev's not here and a horse is next to me, it's important to give it a whirl. I don't think you almost need to in terms of getting some of the aromas from this thing. Coffee, lovely, lovely amounts of coffee. There is definitely a spiritus kind of bourbon-y sort of thing going on, absolutely. There's some nice tart, char, yes, those sort of bitter, burnt sorts of notes. If you're expecting a nice, sweet, comfortable, gentle, reassuring stout, this is not the beer for you. This is going to challenge you. This is going to be nasty. This is Rasputin. I've left this to actually warm up nicely, so it really is the perfect temperature right now. First thing first, brown sugar. Lots of brown sugar, molasses, treacle, those really sort of dark, as I say, slightly almost barbecued, blackcurranty, plum sorts of flavours to it. This is nasty. This has got an edge to it, but it's also glorious. It's like getting mugged. There is some heat. There's some whiskey notes to it. There's lots of toasty sort of notes to it as well. Oak chipping, sort of, those sorts of flavours are coming through. But I'll tell you what, it's actually quite kind. A very nice balanced sweet finish. Nothing too bitter and dry as the straight up Rasputin that I recall and I wrote down in my notes. This is actually very balanced even at this age. It is sweet. I would say probably I would actually, in the next bottle, the bottle that I'm going to buy come March, I'm going to keep that one for a couple of years just to let that sort of spiritus note perhaps die down. But people, I'm telling you what, vanilla too, there's some vanilla too. But there is a boozy punch at the end here. This is a wonderful beer to try. In terms of ratings, it's got to be above 4. I would go as high as 4.2, I think 4.2 for this one. Wonderful beer, as I say, not much of it coming out, but if you do manage to get hold of it, perhaps you should actually stick it away if you can. If you can resist it, stick it away for a couple of years and you're going to be rewarded with an absolutely world-class beer. That's it, people, from me and the horse. Hopefully at the next episode Trev's going to be back and it'll be a lot more funny. But until then, cheers and beers.